We'll be going live here in just 1 minute. Go ahead and jump in here. Let's see the chat. Give us that good morning. Let us know if you got your coffee. Got some great alpha coming at you guys today. We'll be starting about 1 minute. Hang in there. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome, everybody, to Piper Academy. I'm your host, Army Piper, coming at you every Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, the alpha, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today, guys. We got some great news coming in today on the economic side, but we also got some news that there might be a threat to your bag of Polygon MATIC. We're going to take a look at that news article, see what's going on with that. Shout out to all the people in the chat. We've got Christian Mayer in here. Bob's in here. He said he's getting his coffee right now. Guys, got to get your coffee. Coffee fuels the brain fuels the bags fuel vacations. That's how it goes, guys. We also going to take a look at optimism. 2 days ago, we gave you guys a little heads up and said, hey, OP breakout. Check this out. We did a whole show on it. Did we get that breakout? Yes, we actually came back down and retested a key level. We're going to talk about that and show you guys where it could be heading from here. And then, of course, you know, my great co-hosts, they're going to be breaking into a lot of different TAs. So let us know in the chat what you guys would like to see today, and we'll get that going for you. Shout out to Otter, though, the Otter gang. They're in here. We got Alex O Crypto in the house today, so always great to see you. Alexander G is in here. We got Ada Ace in here. World Mobile launches air nodes in Reno. So, yeah, Ada always following the Cardano world over there. So that's pretty cool. Mr. J in here was first today. And then Justin Eubanks and OC Guy and Crux of Crypto and the whole gang. Dustin Singer. I love having you guys here. But, guys, enough of me chatting and chatting and chatting. Let's get to my co-host, and let's bring up what's going on today and say what's up. What's up? What's up, guys? How you doing?
What's going on, man? Super excited to be here as always. Had a nice little break with the family last night. We actually went out to Six Flags, did a little holiday extravaganza there, had some family in town. So all good, man. Super excited to look at some charts and ready to get this party started.
Got my coffee cup today. Crypto millionaire loading. So, you know.
Dude, new cup, new day. That's your
New
thing,
cup,
man.
new day. Yesterday, I had to take a sip and buy the dip, and evidently Michael Saylor bought the dip yesterday. Did you guys hear about that?
No, but
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
I'm gonna be pulling that up and showing you. OC, what's up, my man? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great and doing fantastic. I'm right here on vacations at Cozumel, just visiting the family, brought all my studio things and stuff. And yeah, yesterday I went through over installing the green screen, the lighting stuff. So also I had a confirmation that the internet will be coming to fix the things. So I think everything is going smoothly.
I'm bullish on your internet upgrade, just so you know.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and jump into
It's working.
It is. It's working good. Let's go ahead and jump into what's going on with the chart. Shout out to Investing Bros. They're in here. I'm pretty sure that is T Shroom over there hopping on with the Investing Bros account. So shout out to them too. Just got them watching his show. You know, I watch him every morning. He said, TradeFly, your camera angle is looking crisp. You're looking good, guy. He said you looking fly. He said you're looking TradeFly. Let's go ahead and jump in here, guys. Taking a look at the last 24 hours here. Let's go ahead and bring this in a little bit. just a little bit. Let me move that over. There we go. Let's bring this in and take a look here. Bitcoin for the last 24 hours up about 0.6%. Ethereum tearing off up about 2.8% for today. BNB up 3.3. So there you go. OC, there's that call that you had about BNB that it was going to have some more upside. You got it, bro. XRP up 0.6%, getting some movement there. Cardano down about 1%, but it is up still 3.9% for the week and up almost 1% up in the past hour, 0.7%. So this actually would have been like 1.7% that it was down for the past 24, but that's okay. Still bullish on Cardano. So AVAX down 4.4 for the last 24 hours, but trying to make some rebounds there. What else we got? Polygon MATIC, guys, up 16.2% in the past 24 hours, 38% for the week, looking awesome there. And then we'll go down. I want to check where it is. Where is it? Where is it? Where's OP? Right there. Optimism in the past hour up 8.1%, guys. 21% for the past 24, almost up 80% for the past 7 days on Optimism. So when we called that, when we made that call, it was early in the move, and it has just continued to absolutely rip. So let's go ahead and jump up and take a look at what we got going on for liquidations here, guys, for the past 24 hours. Let's give it a little refresh here. Just keep it fresh so it can compete with our trade fly over there. Look at fly. Guys, that past 24 hours right here, $230 million in liquidations. $162 million of those was longs because of a massive dump yesterday that we had. Shorts now getting on the back end and picking all that up. Past 24 hours, 94,000 traders liquidated. Totals coming in at 230 million. Like we said, largest single liquidation was on ETH. It was for $1.7 million that someone lost on the ETH trade. So still don't know who these people are that are doing these $1 million liquidation trades, but hey, more power to them. So let's jump over here. X marks the spot, guys. We had some good news come in from the economy. Check this out. Breaking, this is from the Kabisi letter. I love this thing. If you guys don't follow the Kabisi letter, you should go follow him on X. He's fantastic. And if you don't know, you should also follow all the names that are going to be on the screen here in a second. Here, let me get that up there. Right over there, underneath, above OC's head. That stuff, follow those guys too on Twitter. They're on X. It's X now. It's not Twitter. I'm sounding like a boomer over here. On X. Follow us on X. All right, get back over here. Kabisi letter. Markets just saw their biggest 2-month easing on financial conditions in history, according to Zero Hedge. Since November 1st, the market has priced in an additional 140 basis points of interest rate cuts. So that means 1.4% that they are talking about cutting down. So if you think of that, we're at 5.25, that would be, like 3.75, 3.8 range, right? In other words, markets have added a approximate 5.5% interest rate cuts to their forecast in 2 months. This is a bigger shift than easing expectations, seen lowest point in 2008. Did the Fed run their victory lap too soon? Meanwhile, the Fed's latest guidance, let's pull this up here. Meanwhile, the Fed's latest guidance was that 3 rate cuts are coming in 2024. Markets are currently pricing in 7 with the possibility of 9 interest rate cuts in 2024. 2024 is going to be a historic year. Guys, let's talk about this for a second, because if we get all these rate cuts coming in, now I know everyone thinks that that's a very bullish thing, but historically, and I've showed this on the show with OC to the alumni here, we've talked about this. Historically, when we have rate cuts, the markets pull back and dump. So are we going to see an end to this bullish run, or is it going to be a small pullback? And that pullback just puts us at a retest level on the markets. What is your guys' opinion on this? Are we going to see, so here's the setup. Are we going to see a pullback on the markets when they start cutting rates? 1. 2, is it going to be a major pullback or a minor pullback if we do have that? Your perspective. OC, I'll kick it to you first. Go.
So I believe that we could be having not such a huge pullback. We've been having a ton of things happening throughout this year, and everything has been very, very bearish, and so on and so forth. Every single time we hint at a threat on the economy, and I don't think this is going to be such a different part. Yes, we are not good in the economy wise. I mean, everything is not playing out the way it's supposed to be. But so far, I believe that we're gonna be pulling up something and not actually impacting that much as we've been doing over and over and over throughout the past 2023. But yeah, that is my take. I don't
So
believe that
you
we're gonna be doing or going retracement that bad.
so you think a slight pullback is what we're going to see in this run? Okay. Tradefly, what you got, bro? What's your opinion?
Yeah, so I'm tending to kind of agree, but I would say how I get there is a little bit different. I would say history repeats itself, right? So historically speaking, we're probably going to see something similar, but because of how bullish everyone is on crypto right now, the mass adoption is coming and the factors kind of surrounding, those aspects of the ETF, the utility. There's more and more utility coming out there. There's adoption through different countries, so I'm saying that, yeah, we might have a pullback because that's just normal and history repeats. But like OC saying, I think it's going to be a small pullback. And I think our pattern is really going to continue to go up and right.
Okay. I can go with that. I think that we will see a slight pullback. I do want to remind people, though, we have historically seen during the build up into the bull run, Bitcoin do a 50% retracement, multiple cycles. So it is.
Don't
I
do it.
just want to.
Don't
Hey,
do
I just want to put the historicals out there. That is the case. So,
it.
and we might take a look at that here in a bit. But we are breaking 43,000 right now on Bitcoin as we speak. So let's keep going with this news and get this knocked out, guys. Economic calendar. Let's refresh that data there. There we go. Looking at the economic calendar here on the 2-star. Why are you acting this way? It is not. It's not acting nice here. Let me pull this back up for you again. This is what happens when you wait too long from prep to go live.
You
There we
changed your
go.
robe too early. That's what
That's what
happened.
it is. That's what it is. Looking here, guys, tomorrow, nothing major today. We got API crude oil stock change, but tomorrow, Thursday, December 28th, we do have initial jobless claims coming in tomorrow. Currently at 205,000 people that had claimed last week, claimed unemployment. They're actually projecting that it's going to be at 210 to 207,000. Does not surprise me that much. The reason why is because a lot of holiday workers that were working the holidays and then had layoffs that took place, cutting back to their normal amount of workers. So I would guess that we would see a little uptick right after the holidays. This being that last week, which would be going into Christmas. Like, hey guys, here's your checks. Thank you for helping with our sales and have a good life. So yeah, we might probably see that. Nothing else major this week. Next week though, we have Jolt's job openings and then FOMC minutes from the previous FOMC meeting going on next Wednesday. And then Friday, we get payroll. Find out if we got an increase. This is actually saying that we're going to have less, that people are getting paid less. So we'll see how that goes too. Let's go ahead and move into the news. There we go. It's the news. It's the news in all the news. There we go, guys. Solana founder says Solana is Ethereum. What does he mean? Let's get into this article here. So why Solana is Ethereum? Solana co-founder Anatoly Yakovenko, I believe I said that right, nailed it, recently highlighted the relationship between Solana and Ethereum and said Solana is Ethereum. This assertion came in a post that also shed more light on the future of the blockchain interoperability and Solana's role in all of it. So why is Solana Ethereum? What is he saying here? So in a post on his X, Yakovenko nailed it every time. Elaborated on the Solana as Ethereum comment as he stated that the network is also a layer 2 network for Ethereum through the wormhole eigenlayer. With this, he raised the prospect of Solana and Ethereum being interoperable despite the operating protocol and consensus mechanisms being totally different. Co-founder went on to further state that this will become more feasible as soon as dank sharding is scaled up, as Sol blocks could be submitted into some data validating bridge contracts on Ethereum. So if you guys don't know, one of the upgrades coming to Ethereum is dank sharding. It's going to be a game changer for it. And Solana said that once that happens, Solana becomes even more of a capable layer 2 solution on Ethereum. So all the people that are saying that Ethereum is going to die from Solana, even the co-founder and founder of Solana think that that is not a true statement. They actually believe that they need each other. So he previously hinted that he found the label distasteful as he didn't see a future when the title of Ethereum killer didn't see a future where Sol thrives and somehow Ethereum dies. So there you go. Meanwhile, in his explanation, he said dense sharding is necessary if the network is somehow going to become a layer 2 for Ethereum. This is because Ethereum doesn't have enough bandwidth for all of Solana's data. So Solana's putting through so much data, they had to have the dense sharding so that they can get more data onto one block. That's what it does. It takes your little transaction and OC's little transaction and TradeFly's little transaction and my little transaction, and it combines them so they can get more transactions on each blockchain. Just for those that don't know, that's how that works. So Solana seems to have even more capacity than Ethereum, as the co-founder also mentioned that it would be easier for Ethereum to become a layer 2 for Solana because it has more capacity for all Ethereum's blocks. So that's interesting there. Could you imagine a world where Ethereum is a layer 2 for Solana? So, guys, let me know what you think about that in the chat down there. If you think that's something that is feasible, or is this just totally off his rocker that Solana and Ethereum are going to be working together like that?
I think it's I
Cardano.
think it's a really smart move. Like, think about that. You're getting Solana out there and you're making it bigger. You're essentially growing the network, giving it more utility, and putting it on one of the largest networks that we have.
Well, yeah,
So, I
absolutely.
mean, that's a smart play. Why directly compete against the big guy in in the field? It just
Right.
doesn't, dude. Yeah, this
It's
is
not. It
like in
also
terms.
doesn't build out the utility of crypto either. And at the end of the day, Ethereum, Solana, all these devs, they want that adoption rate, and that adoption rate is even stronger when the companies are working together. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm with
yeah.
you, bro.
Dude, I was like about to cough there. I like couldn't get it out. I was like, "Ugh, ugh, ugh." Yeah. But yes, I I think that's the smart move for Sol, man. And I think that's actually probably some of the most bullish news you could hear for Solana.
Yeah, it is. And Ethereum, because
Yeah.
Ethereum Ethereum does well when things work with it, right? Polygon Matic helps it out. All the layer twos, really. But Ethereum, I think, is going to do better when there's this good competition creates good pricing, right? And then that's going to help with gas fees, maybe too. I don't know. We'll see. I think there's a
The gas
lot
fee.
of there's the gas fees. Oh, the gas fees. So yeah, let's get into this next article here so we can get into some TA for the people. Cardano. For my ADA fans out there that have to constantly hear people say there's nothing being built on Cardano, that is a false statement. Cardano adds almost 10,000 smart contracts in 2023. Taking a look here, with the integration of smart contract functionality into Cardano, there has been a noticeable surge in growth metrics propelling the network towards competing with well-established platforms like Ethereum. As of December 26th, the Plutus smart contract platform on Cardano hosted 14,302 smart contracts, both version 1 and version 2 combined. This figure reflects an impressive growth of over 200%, surging from 4,700 contracts recorded on January 1st. So massive, massive growth going on there on Cardano. The constant drive for improvement, according to the last report of this year, the core technology team has rolled out an update to allow teams sufficient time to adjust their readiness for the version 9 release. So uh, there you go. Shout out to our ADA people out there. We know we got a big unit out there of big group out there of people that love their Cardano, and I do too. So there you go. Almost 10,000 smart contracts added in. Aaron, good morning. Welcome. Alexander G, thumbs up. What's up? Mark Cuban, guys, this is the headline article today. Did you have an article you want to go over before we talk about this? Tradefly?
I mean, I had something pulled up, but it's not anything massive. It's just talking about Kathy Wood and
Well,
basically
bring it up.
saying
Let's do
that.
it. Talk it.
All right, cool.
Let's
Yeah, I
go.
got it. All right, so she's basically saying for the spot Bitcoin ETF, when it gets approved, it's more of a sell the news event, right? So we kind of talk about that quite a bit. And really, what she's saying is that the move that we've had was people actually front running the approval for the spot ETF, and that they're going to take profits once that ETF is actually approved. I would argue if anyone saw what happened when we had that bit of news come out, that fake news with Cointelegraph, and the pump that we saw with that, I would say short term, it's actually probably going to pump that day. Personally, I'm probably going to go long that day on something, but I just want to bring that up. I think it's a good, point of discussion on what you guys really think. And matter of fact, I'll put that for you in the chat. So, one, spot ETF is going to pump the market, or two, the market's actually going to dump on that approval.
Yeah, let us know in the chat there, guys. One, if you think it's going to pump. Two, if you think it's going to dump when that ETF comes out. Is it a buy the rumor, sell the news event, like Kathy Wood is saying? So, yeah, let's get over now to the final article here, guys. This is the thumbnail article for today. Mark Cuban, if you guys don't know, he moved 2.8 million MATIC tokens over to Coinbase. And it looked like he was, he had it staked. So he literally went through the process to unstake his MATIC and then moved it over to Coinbase. Was this to sell it? That is the rumor going on out there. The TLDR on this, billionaire Mark Cuban transferred approximately 2.8 million MATIC tokens valued at $2.56 million to Coinbase. This significant transaction occurred on December 25th, so Merry Christmas to you MATIC holders, involving tokens originally received from the Polygon ecosystem growth in May 2021. So it looks like he actually just he received these in one of the processes that they did, not bought them. So technically he would be in profit even if he sold them at a penny a piece. Cuban's potential sell-off of MATIC could result in a financial loss compared to their initial value, despite his successful staking strategy. Mark Cuban has recently made a significant move involving his Polygon, as we said, 2.8 million tokens moved over to Coinbase. Transaction was executed on December 25th. The MATIC in question originated from a transfer from the Polygon ecosystem over there. When it was done, that was originally valued at about $4.25 million. Again, currently right now worth about $2.5 million. So it's down almost $2 million in price if he was to sell it right now from when he got it. The financial implications of this decision, the potential sell of Cuban's MATIC holdings comes at a time of broader financial moves by the investor, including the sell of his majority stake in the NBA Dallas Mavericks. Cuban's decision to potentially liquidate his Polygon investment is part of a larger strategy of offloading certain assets. So, however, it's important to note that the current value of his MATIC tokens, if sold at the present market price, would result in a loss compared to their initial value in 2021. Despite this, the market has not reacted significantly to Cuban's moves. No, it has not. We will actually take a look at that here in a minute. Could he be selling this, and what would that mean for the price? I think it would cause a little bit of a scare, that much MATIC going down, but I don't think it's going to be too big of a hit, especially since he's probably seeing the movement in price today and rethinking if he wants to sell it right now. So has not been sold off at this time, but I do want to point out that there is absolutely the potential. It's sitting there on the edge, and everyone's waiting to see if he's going to hit that sell button. So guys, be aware of it. I want to make you all aware. Hey, shout out to Crypto Archie. We got Crypto Archie in the house. And Tradefly, what was the consensus on everyone's answer to your question? It looks like
minimal engagement, but it looks like pump then dump is the consensus, and I could see that. And I think if we get up near all-time high again, I think retail is getting smarter, and I think that people are going to start taking some profits if we get up towards the all-time high again. So I could anticipate a little bit of a pullback or maybe a significant pullback, but it doesn't mean we can't go up and right still.
I think you're stretching a little far to say that retail's getting smarter. I still think 90% of people are going to buy and sell at the wrong time. So
it's the trend. You're right. You know what? I'll eat my words. History does repeat itself. So maybe
OC,
you're right.
what do you?
No,
OC,
but
what do you think?
I do believe that. I mean, I do believe that Treadfly has a point there. I mean, I also agree that there's always gonna be that newbie, right? That I mean, we all been there, right? That I chase after prices, and I mean, buy and sell at the wrong time. It seems like when you buy things, things start dumping. When you sell things, start pumping. But overall, I do believe the crypto space is getting more experience. And despite everything, it's going to be repeating itself. I do believe that we can see what TradeFlight was mentioning. Like, for example, who's holding more Bitcoin right now? We see a retail increase on holdings. We see an increase of private Bitcoin wallets, so on and so forth. So I do believe that the crypto space is actually getting a little bit more mature in that. But yeah, just that I just want to bring that up. But I also are with Piper by saying that yes, that is going to be the theme of the crypto market, buying and selling at the wrong spot. Overall, I
Yep.
do see a crypto space getting matured.
Hey, you know how I know people
Absolutely.
are getting smarter? They're watching this show, they're watching Investing
Oh
Bros, and
yeah.
it is just going, and growing. Let's go.
But I am going to point out that if they had followed Crypto Archie, they would be up like
Yeah,
500x on their portfolio
yeah, that
though for
man's
the
insane.
cycle. So yeah, he's insane.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and jump over into some charts now, guys. Let's lead it off here. We're going to take a look at something that I called out yesterday, and it was Quant. We had a question here yesterday from um, we had a question on here from Ben Redden yesterday, and he said, "Hey, can you take a look at Quant?" And we were up here, and I said, "Look, it's very likely that we're going to get a little rejection up here towards this 50% line, and we are getting a pullback. Look for a retest of the 382, and that's literally where we went back to there. So, still not getting too much of a bounce. It did wick down and bounce back up on the daily, but if we take a look at the 4 hour here, got another test right there on it again, and it looks like we're holding that 382 at 138 as support. So that's what we have there. Jump over, check out Bitcoin now that we have that done. Actually, we got market open. Let's do the market open first. Take a look at the Dixie here. The Dixie continuing downside sell off, guys. We are breaking every single level that I have put on here and continuing to the downside, which is good for the markets, right? So that means what's going on with the stock world? Well, Clean Spark is rocketing up today. Shout out to my minor holders out there on the stock side. Up 10.14% today. Now heading towards the 300-week exponential moving average here, guys. Be careful. Could see some play on that. That causes us to have a little bit of pullback. If we hit that for a retest, maybe pull back a little bit, create another low, and then come up for a retest on it again. Try to break through that. And then lastly, on that market side, let's go take a look at our futures. We got the US 30 here. This is the Dow Jones opening up on the green today for a little bit of upside movement, trying to compete with this all-time high right here. We are now hitting this level, and guys, we're not rejecting off of it. Look how we're pushing against this. I do think that the Dow Jones is about to make another all-time high, pushing up there right now on that level of support of resistance. Take a look here. I did have this as the on the ES1. I said, look, guys, we have this little breakup here. We had a little pullback. We have our entry. Oh, don't do that. Lock your fibs, guys. Always lock your fibs. Don't do like Army Piper does. Um, don't do what I do. Lock your fibs. There we go. We are getting that little bounce up there to that zero line, and it looks like we are going to try to push up through that again. Also, we do have a little bit of resistance coming in right here on that trend assistant that is giving us that negative, and we do have a divergence coming in here, but it does look like the S&P 500, that is the ES1 futures for the S&P, does look like it's trying to push up there. Static held push on resistance there. So, and then lastly, taking a look at the NAS 100, we are breaking up and setting new highs again today, guys. Let's go. Stock market's looking strong, looking healthy. And now that we've gotten those in, I'll do Bitcoin and then I'll start kicking it over to you guys. Bitcoin right now continuing to trade here in this wedge that we are in. Come back to me. Come back. Baby, come back. TradingView has been messing with me lately. I don't know what's going on here. It's been doing this a lot lately.
Dang,
Something
that's
about
just a
that
regular chart too.
that massive, yeah. It's not even. It's just regular. This is completely TradingView. Taking a look here, what we got going on. You can see that we are bouncing inside of this wedge here. We did get a bounce clean with the candle close on the dynamic reactor. So shout out to Chart Prime Indicators, giving us that nice support range right there. And it now looks like we are just fighting with a doji candle right now at about $43,000. Not really getting much pullback. We did have the oversold down here, gave us that nice ribbon twist and the momentum dot. below that 30% on the RSI prime. And so it does look like we are poised to come back up, looking at this range of about 44,250 on the top of this wedge. And if we do break that, we do have the 887 at 44,500 right there above it. So we keep an eye there for that, but that's where we're at with Bitcoin currently. I know we've got a lot of movers today, guys, so we're going to kick it over so we can check out what these movers are. And the Biomex, what's up, Tony? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the show. He's in the house right now. Guys, if you missed it last night, Biomex, Crypto Billy, Poyo, Crypto Poyo, Cluck Cluck, everybody, Alexo, they were all on Billy Goat Tales on X last night. Every Tuesday night, they do a new chapter. I wasn't able to get on and talk last night, but I had them in my ear listening in. So shout out to Biomex. Who wants to go first on the charts there? OC or Tradefly? Who we got?
Hey, so one thing I want to bring up is the DXY because I think we're about to hit an ultra important level. And so zooming out, looking at the daily, one thing I want to point out to you is about the 100 to 101 range, which we are about to hit. I think we could bounce. I think we could find support here. And the basis for that is just going back left on the chart and look at all this. It was resistance, resistance, resistance over and over again. You saw a little pop up and then it came back down, resistance again. And then it now flipped into support, right? So that's a real big thing with TA. Flipped into support, and you can see it's been holding, holding, holding. Now we're getting multiple retests. One of the things that I always think about with these retests, though, is it's like chopping a tree, right? You keep hitting that thing, and eventually that tree falls. Other people are on the other side of it, and they say, "Hey, the more times you test it, the maybe we'll say the more the more harder it is, or the more likely it is to hold up." But there was a descending triangle starting to form. We did pop out of it, but now it looks like we're falling back into it. So now, are we getting that pressure for it to continue to the downside? I'm not sure. But the thing is, when we hit this level at about 100 to 101, I would anticipate there to be some kind of support there initially. You'll probably see a bounce. What does that mean? Remember, inverse correlation between the crypto market and the DXY. So keep an eye on that. I would say set an alert at that level just to kind of build your awareness for some of the other crypto markets or the crypto market itself.
I do want to pipe in, pun intended, on something there with that. During bull runs, just so you know, the DXY and Bitcoin inverse correlation breaks. And the Dixie does move up at the same time as Bitcoin moving up during the bull run post halving. So I do want
Right.
people to keep that in mind that a correlation of Dixie moving up does not necessarily mean automatic reversal of Bitcoin,
Yeah. Yeah.
depending on where
Absolutely.
we are in the cycle. Yeah, I just want to point that out for
Yeah.
people. So,
Yeah.
um,
I'd say right now, we have seen this inverse correlation probably over the last, I'd say 2-3 weeks really come back to life because there was when we were dumping too, you saw everything just dumping. Like that correlation was gone. But right now, I'd say some of these short-term movements or over the past couple of weeks, it's definitely been there. So that's something I've brought back into my scan that I kind of kicked out for a while.
yeah. Always go back and take a look. That's what we do in the that's what we do in the analysis world, right? In the army, my job is intel analyst, and there's an analysis process, right? The analytical cycle. Sometimes you got to go back. That's why we've looped back to the beginning and started over with new data. And take a look at your methodology. Did you used to look at something that you're no longer looking at, and now you've gotten into a habit of not doing it? For example, I forgot to bring up and take a look at the liquidations. Right, I came back from vacation, hadn't done liquidation since I've been back, so now
You
it's
don't have
back in there. Right,
you need
went
your
back
robe.
to the beginning.
You need your
That's what
robe.
it is. That's what it is. I need to wear my robe every day. What else you
Yes.
got on the charts? Let's take a look at some other assets here.
Cool. Yeah, I got a Soul Up, and the reason I'm going to revisit that is because last week, if you go back and look at that episode, we kind of talked about this area right here at about 84. And what we talked about there was like, hey, if you get a break of that area, you're going to want to look for a retest. Now, I'll zoom out a little bit. You see kind of this break here. It came back down. If you're looking at like the 4 hour, it retested this area at 84, and then it shot up. Now, high side, what were we looking at? We were looking at about 126. My basis for that is just going back left on the charts, man. I'm your local friendly horizontal line guy. Okay. So I went back and I looked at it. You could see support there, support. And then if you zoom in a little bit here, you see support and then that big break. Always look for that big break because that for me is your indication this is an area to pay attention to. I'm going to preach that probably every day. And then we came up and look what we wicked off of. I mean, almost perfect to the T, 126. You can fact check us, go back to last week and look at this line, and beautiful wick off of it, rejection. And now we came back down to where we're at. So now the good news is we're sitting in between those two levels, right? So now we may find some consolidation in this zone. So I would keep an eye on that. I mean, obviously all the news for Solana is bullish. So for us to come back up and retest this level, I don't think is out of question, but I just wanted you to keep an eye on that zone and
what is that level?
you. That's 126,
Okay,
126.32.
Let me pull up something real fast here. Because I'm actually looking at something here right now on the liquidation heat map. And you can see here, we actually have a level right here at about $116.21 that there's a liquidation line sitting there.
So people are shorting.
Yeah, it's about 116. Well, yes, people are shorting right now. And there's a liquidation up there. So I would not be surprised based on what we're seeing down here below. There's not a lot going on down here below, but we can see here that there's a nice liquidation line above us. So, magnets, right? I can see this come up here and hit that 116. So that would be right in the ballpark of what you're looking at too. So.
That would not be a smart play, guys. Like for me personally, I wouldn't be putting any kind of stop loss at 116 on a short. I'm looking at this horizontal area here at about 126. Why would we put something underneath of that, knowing that that's where it rejected? So if you're looking at a stop loss, you always want to put something above that area of resistance, right? For me personally, that's kind of how I trade. But I want to throw that out there.
Yep. Nope, that's perfect. OC, you got a chart you want to pull up, and then we'll just start round robin here, and then you guys let us know down in the chat what you guys want to see. We'll get them going.
Absolutely. I wanted to add back to Sol. So yesterday we were looking at Sol. Basically, I had this little analysis. Let me just go back in this and also show you this next analysis that we were doing here at Sol. So you can go back and watch it. I want to pull back on the finalizing that analysis because we have an update, right? So this is what we look for. So two kind of different analysis: the head and shoulder lines, and also the support and resistance zones in there. So if we go back in here, you can see that we basically went into that zone first, and then secondly, we perfectly wick to that area right there. So the trend assistant, very nice, adding at support. We're going, it's not about a breakout, it's about the retest. We're going for that retest zone, and then we're having a rejection. We are below the zero line. Let's make a little quick note here that this is the 4 hour, and trend flat is looking at the daily. So we could have different cycles. In fact, we will have different cycles between daily and the 4 hour. So I'm just trying to kind of get pinpointed here. All right. So let's go back into the other analysis that we had, the head and shoulder lines. What is happening here? It seems like we are making that possible head and shoulders, right? If I go into this section, you can see that, yeah, I don't quite reach that zone in here, although it was very, very close, and we are almost there breaking that neckline. Since we had this bottom zone there, I'm going to be updating that as this next neckline and then adding this section here. So we are not quite there yet, but we are making that move. We need to be a little bit careful for the short term. For the short term, because we could be bouncing off this neckline or breaking off that neckline. So far, it seems like based on my squeeze momentum and also the ADX, we could be moving a little bit farther down, which we can see that also on my oscillator. We still have that little more room to go down there. Let me jump into or sideways into Eagle in here very quick, because we also looked at the head and shoulder lines. All right, I know there's a ton of spaghetti, but look at where I have most of my spaghetti there, my spaghetti rolls there. All right, I'm going to start removing a couple of things so we can take a look at exactly where we hit. If we see, look at that, almost exactly, or even exactly to that zone that we were looking at by using those head and shoulder lines. Remember that this line was not there. We had this high, but because we had that support and resistance from before. So it seems like also take a look at EGLD, because we could be having a breakout or a revisit to this bottom section. So far, we are following the plan B, continuation below the zero line and looking for that FOR. So that is basically what I got to sideways between Sol and Eagle. And then I want to throw it back to you guys. I also would like to visit Apple because we just ring an alert that I had. But yeah, let me throw it back to you guys. I think you're muted, Piper.
Muted.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump back into Avalanche here because we had a request for Avalanche, and then you just did the Eagle. If someone can grab that Litecoin, Trade 5, you want to grab Litecoin? Take a look at that.
Got it.
Cool. Let's go ahead and jump in here, taking a look at Avalanche, guys. Looking at AVAX. Had a little pullback here. Looking at starting on Monday, on Christmas Day, we had a little pullback here. We broke down below, and I showed you guys this $44.84 line that I was watching here because it was a previous resistance. Matter of fact, if we go back a little ways, I think it was also another line back here on the daily. Let's just go to that one. Let's go to the daily. Yeah, it was where at? There, way back, way back. Yeah, it was another resistance line back here that we had breaks of candlesticks. That was resistance also. So I said, look, this is our support line, guys, and we got to hold this as support if we're going to, keep going up. Well, we broke below it, and now it literally, that $44.84 range is literally the wick rejection point on AVAX right now. However, we aren't really falling, and I'm seeing some things in the oscillator that are making me pretty bullish right now on Avalanche. One is we do have that FOR that OC was just talking about, that flip of the ribbon here on the oscillator. And it looks like it's starting to push up there. We came out of that 30% range, which is bearish over there on the RSI primed. Starting to get those green candlestick patterns on this RSI. And then also the signal line, we came down, but we're hitting the cloud and we're starting to flatten out. So it looks like we're going to get this movement back up on the signal line. It does tend to do that. Like back here, you can see we came down, hit it, came down, hit it. This could be what we're doing. This could indicate that we're going to go sideways here, which I'll be watching this consolidation score right here. It's currently sitting at a 3 to see if that goes up. But as of right now, the prime score is still an 8, and that means that we are still in an upward trend, sitting above that dynamic reactor, still bullish in structure right now. And technically, if you look at this part here as just part of the entire movement, this would still be setting ourselves up for a higher low. Matter of fact, if we put this on the daily, you can see there, low, low. There you go. So it doesn't really matter when you zoom out a little bit that we had that little pull in right here. We are still creating bullish structure, and we have all the support down here on the oscillators. Let's go ahead and do one thing. I want to come in here and let's look at the MVP and see what the MVP is telling us about bottoming out here. Because we get the lovely green candles. Yep, there you go. Perfect. That's exactly what I thought I would see here. This is indicating that we are bottoming in this range right here now, which means more upside. You can see the last time we had it here, it's what led to that. And then we also had it here, which led to that. So right now it does look like Avalanche has more upside. We just got to get through that $44.84 line there on the resistance and turn that back into support for more upside runs. So there you go for the AVAX, Christian. I got you, bro. Trade fly. It's Litecoin time. Go.
All right, man. So pulling up the Litecoin here on the daily, just keep that in mind here. So Chart Prime has drawn a wonderful rising wedge for us. I give that show pretty much every day. But what I'm looking at right now is a line of resistance that we did kind of wick off of. So coming back to the left, looking at areas of support and resistance, you can see that we're kind of flirting with an area right now. I don't know how significant it is. I would have to really do a little bit more analysis on the chart, but just looking back left, I do see an area of resistance, which we did kind of honor, we'll say. Now we are in this rising wedge, and really, I mean, it's still looking pretty bullish. If you see here, price action is generally trending up and right. That's a good sign. And you can see also here on the prime oscillator that we're looking to kind of shift bullish right now. So I'm going to go down, kind of look at some of the indicators. This is when I'm like, all right, what else am I seeing? Come down to the prime oscillator. See, I see the same trend, right? It's an up and right trend. You can see right here, it comes down. You get a little bounce, you get a bounce, but it keeps trending up and right. That's a good sign. All right. So for me, I would anticipate that we may see a little bit more of an upside press, and then coming down and looking at the money flow, kind of getting the same feel there. Now, this one is, we'll say, maybe a little bit different. Here at the end, you see it's trending up just a little, but you are seeing a little bit, I'll say, of a slope even to maybe a little bit down and right. But overall, I think we stay in this pattern right here. And I think we're probably going to mess with this wedge. So I would look for maybe a breakout of that wedge before I decide if we're going to go long. If we break out to the top side here, you're going to want to look for a retest. OC preaches that every day. And then you look for that retest there on the top side, and maybe a continuation up and right. Now, if we break out to the low side, then obviously you're going to be looking for a retest, and that might be an opportunity to go the opposite direction and potentially short. Where could you find short? I would simply just go down to where we were finding support here, where it was almost even, right? So when you see that almost directly horizontal line there, then that's where I would look for maybe a little bit of a bounce. So that's what I got on
What's that price
Litecoin
coming in at? Below those
right
wicks,
now.
what would that price be?
I would say down in about the $58 range, 59 to 58. You kind of have a little bit of a zone there, and you just kind of go back and look left. You see it's kind of like a war zone, right? You see all this resistance and support, but generally you can draw a line through the middle of it, and you can really find. Let me actually draw that line for you just so it'll give you a better idea. So you see kind of in the middle, you see all this support and resistance there. So there's your line, and you can see resistance, support, resistance, support. So it's just back and forth in that area. So it looks like 57, 57 is kind of the line that we'll look at, but it's a zone. All right. So when I draw horizontal lines, always understand that I'm looking at an area. I'm not exactly looking at, all right, we're going to hit $57. It's like, okay, we have a little area to kind of keep an eye on. And when I'm setting an alert, I'm typically setting an alert on the higher side of that. That way I know that we're about to come down and test that area. So bullish
Nice.
is what I see, just to sum it up, but we could, pull back. It's possible.
Yeah, taking a look at the liquidation chart here on Litecoin right now, there's really nothing sitting above us right now. Let me pull it up here 1 second. It's populating the chart on this liquidation chart. There we go. Yeah, so if I pull this up here and show you guys on the monthly here, you can see that it's actually nothing sitting above us here. There's no liquidation, there's no yellow, it's just purple and blue, nice and cool. But if you look down here, we actually have a liquidation line sitting below us at that $71 right now. And then I was trying to get the 3 month to load, but it's taking its dear sweet time. But that 3 month is coming in at about $60, just so you're tracking. So
that 71 is close. Just tying it into what you're seeing. And that kind of lines up with that line that I drew. So that trend line that's going up and right now, if you look at 71, that's about right here. We could very much come down, retest that area. That'll clear out that liquidity, and then you could see a movement back to the upside.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. And that there's definitely liquidation sitting below us and nothing really above us. So I would say that magnet is going to pull it down to that level. That's a good call there. Cool. Thanks. Appreciate that one. Trade Fly. OC, you said you got some, is it Pith? Is it Pyth? Let me know in the chat, guys.
Oh, it says. I got educated last time with crypto trades. He was saying, "Hey, bro, it is Python." So yeah,
okay,
nice.
There you go. Because you hear it back and forth. So
yes, I know
you got Pyth. Let's go with that.
yes, absolutely. So guys, just so you know, we were talking about Pyth yesterday on the private classes of Chart Prime. By the way, Piper, we have a free class today to give. So we're gonna be hosting that if on the TA Talk. But let's take a look at what we were talking about. So yesterday I was looking at this section. Why? Because we're already having those oversold golden boxes. All right. So I was looking again to FOR. All right. So that's why I was circling this area. I was expecting that FOR to happen a little bit higher there, which is fine. Remember, I am looking at both support and resistance and triggering but a FOR like that. So as you can see, this is the line. This is my prepared trade. All right. Just so you know, I did not enter right here. This is what I was planning to enter. But since I did not have a confirmation of my FOR, well, then I just did not take that trade. Remember, this is not financial advice. You can enter whenever you want and however you want. All right. But the important part here is that I did waited for that bounce, all right, or for that FOR. Where did I took my entry? Let me update it, and I enter at this candle close. So this candle close here. So basically, I enter right there. or a little bit lower, slightly bit lower. All right. My stop loss, it is at the support here, and then I compensate for the wiggle room. And so far, I already have taken TP number one, and then I am planning to move my stop to entry because I'm back at TP number one. And as you can see, I was expecting an up ranging movement in here. I did have that, or I am having that up ranging movement, but at the same time, I am having a flat top triangle here. All right. We're not coming from the bottom. So I'm not sure if this triangle is going to break up or down, although because we are above the zero line, I am expecting to go find the dynamic reactor at least. All right. So what I'm looking for, it seems like now we're turning back red. So I'm going to be adding an alert in here. So I will be just drawing a little trend line there and adding that alert on that trend line. So that's what I'm going to be looking at for Python. So yeah, let me throw it back to you guys. What do you guys have?
You said you had Apple you
Apple.
wanted to take a look at?
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
take a look at Apple.
Go ahead and pull that up.
So perfect. All right, so Apple. Let's take a look at why I was talking about Apple. Look at this. So I have Apple crossing at 192.38. All right, I just marked it here. 100 192.38. All right. So why was I looking at that section? Because we had a triangular formation here. We were breaking through that triangular formation. It is not about the breakout. It's about the retest, and this was TP number two. All right, so smart target number two. All right, so basically we already hitting that TP number two, and we did broke through that zero line. We did not bounce from that because I was expecting a possible bouncing zone in here, but as you can see, we broke after or before. Sorry, we broke before, and now we're heading to the bottom. So we need to be patient here. We have kind of like a free space all the way till here to the dynamic reactor. And let me just bring up my trend assistance. All right. So my last line of defense for the rest of the short will be that trend line assistance. So am I still looking for a reversal? Sort of, but not quite there. I'm rather more leaning to continuing the short on Apple and then reaching the dynamic reactor. So I'm a little bit more bearish than bullish at this point. Although we are bullish by trend and we have a high consolidation zone. So, or score, all right? So that is meaningful because we could be keep ranging. So I'm looking right now for a possible reversal, but leaning more to a target at 186 or something around that.
Okay.
So
That's
one
pretty
thing to
good.
point out there is if you look at on the daily, there's two CME gaps. We're almost at one of them. One of them is at 190. The next one's at 181, which lines up perfectly with what you're talking about right now because you were talking about the was it the prime oscillator? Nope. Is that right? Yep. Prime oscillator. There we go. You're looking for a bounce there, and it lines up perfectly with that CME gap.
Perfect.
Little
Nice.
confluence. Little confluence for you.
Little confluence. All about the confluence. Hey guys, I'm going to pull up and take a look at Chainlink here. I'm seeing something on Chainlink that you guys need to be aware of. We have this long-term running trend line here. Let me go ahead and just isolate the top chart down. There we go. Looking at the 4 hour here, you guys can see going back to the date here of 17 November, we have this trend line running up. That's this blue trend line running all the way up there. We've had multiple touches on it along the way, giving us nice bounces, and then we broke it, we retested it, and went down. Guys, we're getting ready to run up on that trend line here really soon, and that trend line coming in right around $16.50. So be watching that to see if we can get a break of that or if we get a rejection off of it. But right now, I would like to see it break up through because I'm holding a bunch of Chainlink for transparency purposes. Go figure, the first sergeant of the Link Marines. So self-appointed. I would like to see it get above that trend line, but right now it does look like we are heading towards a resistant trend line that has got a nice little history of support and resistance already. So be taking a look at that and be watching that. Elo Brown corrected you. That is called the dynamic reactor. on that indicator there. It's okay. It's okay, TradeFly. You're learning. This is what we do here at the Academy, right? The alumni is here to learn. So, and we learn every day. If you ever stop learning, it's time to punch in the clock and check out because you're done. So learn
we
every
have an
day.
edit button?
Learn every
I
day.
need an edit button.
That's all right, man. Anybody got anything else that you want to show here? We got about 7 more minutes, or we can just go ahead and talk it out and wrap it up. Let me know. TradeFly,
I
OC.
see. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, we could.
Let's talk it out. Or I mean, Trayfly, do you have something else? Go ahead.
Let's take a just quick look at ETH. Got
Let's go take
here.
a
We had a
let's go take a
symmetrical
look at
triangle
ETH.
there.
I like that.
Yeah, quick look. Yeah. We had a symmetrical triangle. Looks like it didn't really play out one way or another. It just kind of broke out and really
No,
stayed in that
that's
range.
why that
So
that's why that take profit target is red because it canceled out. Yep.
there, and it was really close though. If you look at it, though, like I
Biomex,
mean,
take care, brother.
not yeah, not too far off. But here we go. Your local horizontal line guy. Right here, looking at an area of resistance. Now you can see I've had that line up for a while and it just bounced off. We were finding support there. And finally it said it's time to go. So we got that final bounce off of it or as a support level. Let's go ahead and bring up the indicators here and come down to the prime oscillator. You can see it got into the oversold range with that last bounce. And then you can see here where the trend started now going up and right as well with some of the money flow. And here we are at our current level, right? So there is a small area of resistance, I'll say, but I could very likely see, because that seems to be kind of a strong move.
It
I
is a
could
very
definitely
strong
see
move. Yeah.
I could see it coming up to retest this area at about 2397, 2400 for ETH short term. So we guys thinking on that one?
Yeah, I can see that, bro. I mean, we are out of resistance right now, as you said, and then but we do have super strong indications going on off of all of the oscillators. They're all showing upside on it right now, and it is up 5% for the day, actually outperforming Bitcoin right now. So making up some of
Yeah.
that dominance and bringing that Bitcoin dominance
Wonder
down a little
if
bit.
the
So
Solana news. Wonder if that is tied into the move.
that is very possible. That could be it. That could be bullishness for Ethereum, and now Solana is helping Ethereum grow. So hey, Solana,
Hey,
big mover this year. So.
hey, it's not a competitor anymore. Everyone's like, oh, it's gonna flip ETH, but now it's like they're gonna be one. So like, let's all move together.
Very,
Let's do
very,
it.
very possible. Very possible. Well, guys, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Always a pleasure to have my team here all together. OC Guy, TradeFly. Thank you guys for what you guys bring to the community, to the alumni. It's always great to have you here at the front of the class with me. Guys, if you guys enjoyed this content today and you got anything out of it, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, get notified every time we go live right here, Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and very soon with a whole lot more content coming your way. Also, follow us up there above OC's head on X. That is all of our handles over there. You guys can grab those. And don't worry, if you guys are not getting this info in the morning because your brain fog is just too great, you can get 10% off Legendary Aviation coffee over there. Best coffee in the market. Small batch roasted, and it is amazing coffee, and you can get 10% off and help the show out. So you get good coffee and you help us. So, win-win for everybody, right? But guys, thanks for joining us here today. We appreciate you guys always joining us here. And we will catch you guys, the alumni, tomorrow morning. Don't forget, here in about, what time is the show today, OC? TA Talks, what time?
Oh, we're starting in 30 minutes.
In 30 minutes. Check the description below. There's a link for Chart Prime Discord. It's free to join. You can go in there, and there is an open to the public session that OC Guy and I do every single Wednesday called TA Talk, where you get more content just like this, a lot more TA, and some trade calls. So if you guys want to join us there, click that link below and join us over there in the Chart Prime Discord. Guys, we'll catch you guys if we don't see you there tomorrow morning right here on Piper Academy. As always, trade safe and use a stop loss.
That was awesome, dude!